Hey guys, so this video is all about birthday prep and specifically what I'm doing to get ready for and kind of preparing in advance as much as I can for when baby comes and we're having our home birth. So I've been doing videos like crazy. I did a postpartum video of everything that I got for postpartum, and then I did a video of everything that I got for my home birth supplies. I'll link both of those below if you wanted to see what I had to talk about those. But this video in particular is literally like what I'm doing when I go into labor. I did a video, I'm not gonna link it below because it's awful. It was my first video, and I did my birth story from my first pregnancy, Paul, which we were planning on going to the birth center. It didn't happen. We ended up having him here right behind me, which is the game plan for baby number 2. Also, I am currently 37 weeks pregnant. We had Paul at 38 and a half, so I'm like, you know, it could be any day now. But anyway, he came in essentially about 6 hours, so I'm planning this baby to be coming very, very fast. That's right, I said 6 hours. Literally from the time I felt my very first like cramp contraction to when he was born, it was about 6 hours. So this baby could be even faster. So we've kind of been really working on setting up the room. So behind me, that box right there is the home birth supplies. There's a tub below that with more home birth supplies that they asked for. And below that is just like my postpartum tub. I don't need that right away per se. And then over here we have the pack and play set up. And I do have on top of the pack and play, because my son will get into it if I use the little caddy on the side, I have a bunch of newborn diapers. I have wipes, which are 99.9% water. They are not the water wipe brand. It is Hello Bello. I have 2 footed pajamas and 2 little onesies. And I also have a stretchy swaddle that I am excited to use this time. It's new. I haven't used that one before. We have used a whole bunch of other different swaddles. The only thing that I'm missing that is recommended, and I will do that tonight because I just remembered, is I need a little glass jar of olive oil, and that is to put on their little bum in the very beginning. It's to help, I think it's called meconium. If that's not right, I'll put it down here. Their poops in the very beginning are like tar and sticky and gross, and our midwives recommended olive oil versus coconut oil to kind of basically like, almost like, what would be the term? It's to prevent the meconium so much from sticking to their skin, just to easier clean up because it's gross. I didn't actually clean it up last time Matt did, so I just get the little jelly jar. I mean, you can put it in whatever you want, but I'm going to use the little glass mason jar, jelly jar, and put some olive oil in it with a cap and put that in there. So then that is officially good to go. I also have, it's hard to see, but my dresser is completely cleaned off. I took off all my photos and everything, and I put a, of all things, sill pad just so it doesn't slide. Then I put a Chuck's pad, and then I put like dog towel, or one of our old towels that we have in the garage. I did wash it. And a cookie sheet, which the midwives did ask for, and it's really just a place for them to put their supplies so it's not rolling around. Nothing gross is going on there. And then right next to it, they requested a crock pot so they have a constant source of warm water. I'm thinking that's more for long labors. I doubt we'll be using that. I didn't use any of that stuff with my first birth. But so we have that. So that is ready to go, which is nice. But then I have an iPhone, I started 2 notes. And one of them, I think I just need one more number. But I'm going to print this out for Matt. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of numbers on here. It's the birth center's number, my doula's number. I do have 2 doulas. One of them is coming. Then I'm having 2 of my girlfriends, Audrey and Becca, are coming. Then I have the 1, 2, 3 local hospital numbers. Then I have my mom and my older sister, and then our pediatrician. And I just want to add one of our friends who's local, who won't be here for the birth, but just in case something happens, which I'll get into a second, that number's there. So that's going on the fridge. I have a checklist for Matt what to do when I go in labor. So that's assuming he's home. Once I go in labor, I promised that I will call Matt first. I did not call him first the last time. I thought I would have like all this time to like labor, and I was like, oh, I don't want to bother him at work. It was 3 o'clock when I had my first contraction, and I think I called my mom first. I called my mom first, and then I was telling my sisters, and then it was like 4:30, and I'm like, maybe I should call Matt just in case. So I called his work number. It didn't answer. I called the cell, and he was driving home. So he gives me a lot of crap for that. So I promised he will be my first call. So I will call him, let him know when we are in labor, you know, call family or whatever. But I also promised the doulas that I would call them the second I'm in labor, not text, call. And then my 2 girlfriends who are local, they're actually going to be here for my birth, so I'm really excited about that. And I'm going to call them or text them and make sure that they know they are coming here, as long as like a couple of them. I'm pretty sure my friend Audrey is like, she is so excited. I'm so excited she's going to be here. She's such a dependable person, but she was like, I've got like my bag ready. You know, you let me know. I'm good to go. My other girlfriend, she's a nurse. She has like a crazy schedule and kiddos, and her husband's a firefighter and works 24-hour shifts. So it might be a little more complicated, but I'm pretty sure, I feel like she's going to be here too. So I'm so excited to have like my tribe here. It's going to be a midwife, a nurse practitioner, a doula, my 2 best friends, and my husband. It's a crowd. And obviously Paul will be here. So I personally don't mind. Paul is my 24-month-old. I don't mind him seeing whatever, as long as he's just not in the way of anybody or disruptive. And my 2 girlfriends are kind of here as well to, you know, keep him out of the way if he's being in the way, to help with nap time, things like that. Mosley, my Springer Spaniel, will be here maybe. He is going into my office. That's what we did last time. I used to work from home for a few years before we got pregnant, so he has a bed in my office. He's comfortable in my office. Sometimes we can't find him in the house and he's just sleeping in my office. So that's like his comfy place. We do have friends as well that said they would take him, but we're not going to call them at 2 in the morning to come get Mo or something like that. So Mo might be here, Mo might not be here, but he is going to be shut in a room, so he's just not bothering anybody. So that's kind of like who's going to be here. So getting back to when I go into labor, I'm going to call Matt, I'm going to call my girlfriends, I'm going to call my doula, and I'm also going to call the birth center. The midwives have an on-call number that I will call, and then, you know, let anybody else know who needs to know. Then once Matt gets here, he is responsible for doing a couple things. And I'm going to print out this list. I think there's only a couple, there's like 1 or 2 things here that I'm going to just do now to knock off so that he doesn't have to do it. So this I'm also going to print, and it's going to go in the fridge. So he is responsible for getting a garbage can out of his office. He has like a big garbage can there, and just put a new garbage bag in it, and that's going to go in our master bath. I think I said I plan on giving birth here, right here in the bed behind me. He's going to remove the down comforter, any blankets, decorative pillows, whatnot. Those are just going to go right into his office. Has a bed in there. That's just going to go there or in the nursery, out of the way. And then what he's going to do is he's going to leave the fitted sheet and the flat sheet that are already there. I have a waterproof liner that was from, I believe, Walmart, king size, because that's the size of my bed. That's going to go over all of that. It's a vinyl waterproof liner. And then in the box back there, I have everything he needs. He's then going to put another, so it's going to be fitted sheet, flat sheet, vinyl liner, another fitted sheet, and another flat sheet. So the logic to that is I get in bed, we give birth, and then once the cleanup, you know, they can take the sheets down. The midwives are amazing. They even like help do laundry before they left. Get that in the washer or whatever, and then the vinyl thing, I don't care, throw that away. And then there's clean sheets right underneath it. So that's kind of the logic to that. So he needs to do the bed. And then the pillows are kind of the same thing. You put a big garbage bag over your pillow. So your pillow has a pillowcase on it. You put a garbage bag on it and another pillowcase. So after you're done, they can just take the dirty pillowcase off, the trash bag off, and there's a clean pillow, if that makes sense. So how many pillows I need, I have absolutely no idea. I'm not, you know, uber worried about. All this stuff is from Amazon. So if it gets dirty and I can't get it clean, which I know I can, but if I can't, it's fine. We'll just throw it away, I'll get something new. This is key requirement from our birth center. Matt is going to unlock the front door and leave the light on, and he is going to open our garage door, and the door to the house is going to be unlocked. I mean, it always is anyway. And just make sure lights are on so people basically don't have to knock, they're just gonna come right in. And then I have for Matt to, if Mo is here, to take Mo out, make sure he's fed, and put him in my office with some water. He was barking a lot when Paul was born, but I was so like zoned out, I didn't really notice. And Mo being stressed honestly stresses me the most out. So if I'm zoned out and don't really hear it, I'm not really worried about it. So then there's just some things that Matt needs to gather that I don't want to gather now because I'm using them. So it says 8 to 12 bath towels. So we used our regular bath towels. I kind of have dark prints. They're dark gray, dark like tan color, and we use those. So he's just gonna grab all the towels and bring them in here. They also asked for, I don't remember how many washcloths. I don't have as many as they were asking for, but just bring those in here. The crock pot I had on the list for him to get, but I'm gonna get it today and just put it right there if they need it. I don't think I'm gonna be using that, but then downstairs, he already knows what I'm talking about. The largest metal mixing bowl that I have, actually do have a really big one, and that is for the placenta. I've thought about, I had my placenta freeze dried and encapsulated with Paul. I didn't really notice a big difference, so I'm going to skip that this time. I don't have a contract with any doula or midwife to go ahead and do that, so we're not gonna save it. This is where it gets a little weird. Home birth. So our garbage pickup is on Wednesdays. So their recommendation is to actually freeze it. And then on trash day, you put it in the garbage, like, you know, in a big Ziploc bag or something. I actually do have jumbo size Ziploc bags, and I probably should grab one now that I think about it. But I have those for Paul's toy rotation, so we can put it in there or whatever. Let's see what else. A heating pad, an old pillowcase. I think that was to put the baby's clothes in. So you have a heating pad and a pillowcase, and they put the baby's clothes in it just so they have warm clothes. I didn't do that obviously with my first birth, but what we did was immediate skin to skin, which I'm going to talk about in a second. That's in my birth plan. So he didn't really, I don't think we even put baby in clothes for quite a while, because Matt was holding him while they cleaned me up because I needed stitches and to pass the placenta and everything. And then I held him and breastfed him. And then I was holding him still when everybody left, and I think I just had like a blanket over me or something like that. I'm trying to think of what he slept in. Maybe I'll probably just swaddle him, to be honest. So, but Matt's just gonna have it, so we have it. A laundry basket. I actually only have 2 laundry baskets, and I use them constantly, so I didn't want to just like have one. So Matt knows where those are. We need a laundry basket. Obviously, that's for laundry and cleanup after the birth. It said on here a space heater. We do have space heaters. Matt also can control the temperature by room. It's an app on his phone. I'm not really too up with that. I actually usually call Matt and ask him to raise the temperature in the house even when he's not here. I know that's really sad. And then snacks and beverages, which I have downstairs, and just for any of the people that are staying here, they know they can help themselves. I have tons of snacks. I've been like buying stuff up from Target like crazy. Drinks, I have seltzers, water, juice. I also want to make sure that there is orange juice ready to go in the fridge. I kind of just have been making it as I go. I get the frozen ones. There's just something about orange juice right after birth that both the doula and midwife recommended, and I had it the last time and it was like amazing. I think it's just like, you know, not blood, well, probably blood loss. It's like when you give blood and sometimes they give you juice and like a cookie that's sugar. It's kind of that thing. So to make sure there's orange juice, I put on here finish packing your hospital bag, but he did. Speaking of that, so I have my emergency hospital bag that is in the bathroom. Matt knows where that is, and that has in it, let me go grab it. So this is it. Just a duffel bag, nothing crazy. I don't even know what Matt packed, to be honest. He probably packed more than I did. So I have in here a baby blanket, 2 onesies, 2 footed pajamas. I didn't include a hat because most hospitals give you a hat. Most hospitals give you that pink and blue receiving blanket too. So there's that. I figured I would be wearing shoes, so I'm not packing shoes. I figured I'd be wearing my maternity leggings, and I only have 3, so I don't really have any to spare. So I don't know if this is horrible logic or not, but we shall see. So I didn't bring that. I brought a large shirt. I have a cardigan in here. I have a like short sleeve robe that I don't really care about. I was thinking about throwing my flip-flops in here. I might do that. I have a really loose fitting nursing bra, and I have a nursing cami as well. Some socks. Like I think I said a shirt. This is like a, what is it called? A maternity shirt is what I have. Socks. And then I did pack some toiletries, but honestly, pandemic times, I'm like low on toiletries. So in here I have a little, I don't know what you call this. It came with another thing. It's just a separate little pouch. So this is if I have to take my jewelry off. So my rings and necklace. I'll probably try to remember to do that before if we have to go to the hospital, but if I don't. Chargers for my phone and watch, chapstick, Q-tips are in this little pack. And then in this bigger one, I have my glasses, a spare set of glasses, contact lens case, contact solution, face wash, brush, toothbrush, hair tie. I don't have deodorant in here. I don't have a spare deodorant, so I'm banking on the hospital having deodorant and toothpaste for me. If they don't, I'm going to make Matt run to CVS and get something small. But that is my hospital bags. Obviously, I just said we're having a home birth. So the game plan is if I have to go to the hospital, and we did have birthday preparation classes with both the birth center last week and with our doulas earlier in this week. So I feel like freshman orientation, I'm good to go on everything. If we have to go to the hospital, the game plan is one of my two girlfriends is going to stay here with Paul until my parents can come down. So my parents are about 2 hours away highway, but my parents don't drive highways or interstates, so it takes them about 4.5, 5 hours. So they have a bag packed just in case, and I feel comfortable enough with my parents. I've talked about postpartum before that I don't want any visitors until TBD. That really impacted my postpartum anxiety and PTSD with Paul. It wasn't actually my birth. It was the couple days postpartum that just messed me up for months. So that is our game plan, nobody here. So I've already told my mom, like, if we go to the hospital, when I come home, depending on if I get discharged at 9 o'clock, no, I'm not kicking my parents out. But if I get discharged at like 8 or 9 in the morning, I told her, I was like, there's no hanging around. I'm going to say hi and then you need to go. And she was like, nope, understand. No problem. So that is a relief because I really just want that alone time to heal and bond, and this is just what I want for me this time. I'm doing it a little bit different. I'm not pleasing other people. I'm doing things for me. So that is the plan. We'd go to the hospital. One of my girlfriends would stay here with Paul and then wait till my parents get here, and then, you know, they could leave. I said before on my phone number list that there is my girlfriend who lives locally, so I want to put her name down, and I need to ask her too. I'm sure she's gonna have absolutely no problem. If for some reason one of my friends, Audrey or Becca, has to leave and can't stay here with Paul, she's an option because she is like 10 minutes down the road. So either they bring Paul to her, or she comes and gets Paul, or she stays with Paul till my parents get here. So that's kind of the emergency plan. But that's not going to happen because we're going to have a home birth and everything's going to be amazing. But speaking of hospitals, I went ahead and made my birth plan. This is a visual birth plan. It's actually the exact same one I had for Paul. And you can get this for free if you go to mamanatural.com. I'll leave all of that good stuff below. This does print in color. I'm just too lazy to hook up to Matt's color printer, so he's going to print it in color for me tonight. They're amazing written ones, but I am a visual person, so I liked this visual one. And it's in two sections. There's the during labor and after labor. So I have things like no medication. I want to be able to have free movement in the hospital if I'm there. Natural rupture, I don't want my water broken. I have on here water birth as an option. I'm not doing a water birth at home. I don't know where that would go, honestly. So I'm doing it in my bed. I did it in my bed before. But if I had the option of a birth center with a water tub, I might be tempted. No episiotomy. I did not have episiotomy with Paul. I did micro tear in 2 places because he actually came out with his hand like this. And I had stitches, and to be honest, it was not a big deal. I didn't really notice them. They were dissolvable. I didn't have to have them taken out. So, you know, it is what it is. Limited cervical exams. If you go into the more natural method, they kind of talk about how it's unnecessary. I'll let you do your own research. No membrane sweep. I would like food and drink for mom if possible. A lot of hospitals say no. One of the benefits of the home birth is you could eat and drink as much as you want while you're in labor. I had zero desire to eat, and my doula kept forcing me to drink. So there's that. Pitocin only if necessary. I don't want Pitocin to help encourage my labor or make things go along. I just want things to go as naturally as possible. I trust my body. My body knows what it's doing. With Paul, though, after he was delivered, I did have Pitocin because my placenta wasn't coming out fast enough. So that I'm fine with. It's just during labor, I don't want Pitocin. No forceps, vacuum extraction. So basically, the theme is, you know, keep it as natural as possible. Leave me the freak alone. My body knows what it's doing. I trust my body. And I will say too that if we have to go to the hospital, oddly enough, my midwives are not allowed, but you are allowed 2 people to support people. So Matt, my husband, and I can have my doula come with me, which is kind of calming too. So not that they are an advocate, like can advocate to the doctor, but you know, if a decision needs to be made, we can say like, can we have a minute? And we can discuss with our doula, which makes me feel a lot better. Then the after delivery stuff, and I'll list a copy of my birth plan down below if you want to see everything that I'm talking about here. After delivery, I would like immediate skin to skin, delayed cord clamping. We did that with Paul. Partner to cut cord. And just so funny. With delayed cord clamping, when I was first looking this up, I'm like, how long is that? Like 30 minutes? It's actually only a couple minutes. I think it was till your cord stops pulsing and then they cut it. So it's not like an insane amount of time. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Partner to cut cord. Matt cut Paul's cord and he's going to cut this baby. Breastfeeding ASAP. I'm going to come back to this one in a second. No eye ointment. These I can't remember, but I know like whatever that was for, I don't need. No bath for baby. Delay exams for bonding. No Hep B shot. No formula. And no vitamin K, but it was just, there's a preservative-free one that we did that my birth center offers. So that's what we're doing with that. So I will print a couple color copies of those, have some on the fridge, have them in a hospital bag to bring with us. God forbid if that ever happens, but I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else. So we have everybody over here. We have a wonderful labor. Baby comes, and then the midwives stay to clean up. The doula stays for a little bit. She helps with the breastfeeding if I need it, just support for a little bit. Everybody kind of hung out for about, I would say it was about an hour or 2 after he was born, and then everybody left, and it was just kind of like, now what? I do remember being very hungry, so I'm trying to think of like how I can have something ready that I can eat. Because I remember Matt was so exhausted. I think he just gave me like a buttered hamburger roll or something, and it was like the best buttered hamburger roll I'd ever had, but it was late, so I don't know. We shall see. So I just wanted to tell you everybody what the game plan was in case you're interested. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.